Hey guys, this is Vernier, and I'm going to be joined by Cardinals member Vitel Tonnet, who's had quite a bit of success at Rush Poker so far. And basically, we are going to divide this video into three parts. The first being a 7-minute discussion of the general trends at the micros going on right now and how the game is evolving over the last couple of days. And the second thing is there's going to be about 3 minutes of discussion about the software called Table Ninja, which I think is going to be very helpful for a couple of reasons which we're going to discuss in playing Rush Poker specifically. And lastly, there's going to be a 40-minute sweat session where we talk about a session that Vitel Tonnet ended up playing at 25 no limit. So Rush Poker is a lot of fun. It's pretty crazy, and a session can be, I guess, as long as you want, or as short as what I just did right now, which is about 5 hands. So, without further ado, we are going to examine about 14,000 hands from a Hold'em manager perspective, as well as a graphical perspective that Vital Tonnet has played. Hey guys, this is Vernier for Carnage.com, and I'm joined by Viffeltona. Actually, can you please say your name for me?
Yeah, Vitel Soler, but you can say I like it more the way you say.
I'm actually gonna call it. I'm gonna try to pronounce it the way you pronounce it.
Nah,
Viteltona.
nah, yours is better.
Thank you so much. Uh,
No, welcome.
his name is Esteban.
Esteban. Yeah,
Esteban.
right.
I'm,
Yeah,
I'm butchering both your actual name and your screen name. So he has had quite a bit of success at the Rush games so far. He's up around 29 binds, but as he will tell us, it's been quite swingy. But he is going to offer us some just general thoughts about the state of Rush right now, and then we're going to do a short sweat session. So to begin with, it looks like you went on just a tremendous heater at the very beginning.
yeah, yeah. It was nice. I mean,
Obviously.
yeah. As soon as they start opening this new table, rush tables, I start like two tabling at first, and people were like just giving away their money. Like I got 5 bet shove. I had aces and the guy has like pocket deuces. So I think the early hitter here is like mainly because people were like gambling a lot, and well, I run. I think I run good. So yeah, and people were like playing feed or fold on the flop. So I tend to like I try to steal every little pot. So that's why like my red line looks slightly positive, positive or break even.
Right.
Then around I think here,
Well,
I
can you tell me about the downswing that you hit after that?
yeah, well, I started to to lose like every pot pre-flop. I made a huge post on 2+2 forums about it. Uh, it was crazy. Every time, like I had kings, the other guy had aces, and that went
So
for like
you just ran into a lot of variance.
yeah, it's well, that's the thing. I don't know if it's like the normal variance of the rush tables or that I'm making like not plus EV lines since it's I don't know most of the lines I think they are like billion dependent. So what it seems to be a bet fold against a passive guy, it's actually a bet call. So I think I have a problem adjusting. Plus I was getting cooler a lot, so
Right.
that that was like the main thing. But around here, I I start running like God again,
Right.
and I like recover some of my lost buy-ins. But I think the main thing is from here up to here that I was actually eight tabling this. and I think it was the time when most small stakes player and middle stake player come to try the thing out. And there was like this crazy pre-flop dynamic about 3 betting, 4 betting, shoving all in, like really, really light.
Right.
People were like 3-bet shoving like any pocket pair, and there was like little post flop and or like check shoving post flop, things like that. So it was kind of hard to adapt. I I I I was running around here. I think I was running like I don't know 22-18, and here I was kind of needy. I had to knit up since the dynamic had changed, and here I think this is from here up to here is today, yesterday, and today.
So now tell me how has your game kind of evolved more recently? Now we can also see a trend in your red line. Your red line seems to change direction and it seems like you're winning a lot more without showdown. So can you tell me about some of the changes that you've made, and I guess in the last 2 days, based on the dynamics that you've seen, which have kind of led you in this new direction?
As you know, when everybody is playing loose, you have to play tight in order to crash the games. So here, at the first, people were like feed or fold, so playing laggy was like the most profitable style. But when all the craziness started, I had to like knit it up. So I stopped the light 3-betting. First, I tightened up my opening ranges,
Right.
so I can stand a little more heat pre-flop. And second, I think I just knit it up. I run, I think, like 18, 16 from here to up to here.
Right.
And when you're playing like nitty, your red line tends to go down, and your actual winnings at showdown tends to go up, since like you get to the river with stronger ranges.
Right.
So I think this from here up to here was all the craziness, and now it seems that it has stopped, and like games are playing like Peter Fold again. So I tend to play a little lighter. I'm running like, I don't know, 24-20 or something, and I start to like stab at every little pot, and people like just fold if they don't have a piece. So my red lines start going up again.
Okay, cool. Well, let's talk a little bit about Table Ninja, which is something that I know you've been
Yeah.
using when playing here. So we're going to come right back and we're going to talk about Table Ninja. There's a piece of software which can be found on the Hold'em Manager site called Table Ninja, and Table Ninja makes your life a lot easier when you're playing Rush Poker, mostly because it's it's profitable to raise a little bit less in late position and a little bit more in early position. So once you download Table Ninja, they've got a beta version which is free for full tilt right now. But we're going to go to the pod betting tab, and you can set the default bets pre-flop. So right here, you can change this 75% to something like 70% if you want to, and Table Ninja is automatically going to make that bet size for you when you start playing. And you can change your default on the flop, turn, and river if you want to. But I recorded a session earlier today where I will show you this in action. So we start Rush Poker, 3, 2, 1, bam, we're in the action. And let me show you a hand. As soon as we're dealt a hand, except we're folding, as you can see, by default, it sets our betting to 25%. And because we are in early position here, I'm actually just gonna bump it up to pot since I want to play. Yeah, since I want to play these sevens. Now, on this kind of a board, I'm not gonna get into too much strategy, but I'm definitely not gonna continuation bet this into two people. So I turn a straight with a redraw to the straight flush of the eight of clubs hits, and the guy bets like a fifth of the pot, less than a fifth of the pot, so I'm not gonna fold. And I river the second nuts, and he bets 1/14 of the pot, and I just pop him up, and he folds. So yeah, especially when you're four tabling, something like the Table Ninja software just makes your life much, much, much easier. So you guys should give it a shot. So here we are, and we're actually going to be reviewing a session that Esteban has played, and I'm just going to start the video, and I'm going to pause it whenever something interesting comes up. Suited aces from early position, you're just going to be folding, right?
Yeah, I'm playing like pretty tight from early position, since, well, I don't know any of the guys behind me, so
Right.
I don't think you can profitably call like medium strength hands. Unless we're deep, or whatever with under the gun, I want to be folding most of the time. If I'm deep with under the gun, I may 3-bet and play a pot with him to isolate. But
now this is going to be an interesting hand that comes up. I actually saw this when I was looking at the audio quality. So here you choose to call King Queen offsuit.
yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, I try to defend strong range, and King Queen is like in the between the 3-betting and calling pre-flop. I may 3-bet from the time to time, but since, well, you're readless, I'm better off calling. Here he chooses to c-bet a very dry board, so I'm basically check raising as a pure bluff. I do have overcards, but I don't think there are clean outs if he calls me. But people are like respecting check raises on the flop, on dry boards, since they don't know anything about me either. So I think, well, since it's very hard to connect with this board, and my range is like pocket pairs and I don't know, ace-10. Thinks this board helps my check raising range and none of his c-betting range. He's c-betting all his air 100% of the time.
Yeah. What about here? You raise kings blind on blind, and then you check.
Well, I like my check here since, well, pair boards have a lot of fold equity since it's very hard to connect with the boards. So, like every time you c-bet, you get a fold. And now I kind of choose to turn my kings into a bluff catcher. Since, well, it's hard to get 3 streets of value out of a hand that you beat, unless it's like pocket 10s or pocket 9s.
Right.
So I was like check calling the flop, letting him fire his air. I guess I could donk the turn. I like donking the turn and betting the real small. But I don't hate the check calling, since pocket 10s may be fired again for both value and protection. And I was definitely going to donk the river if I check call the turn.
Yeah.
Obviously, bet folding, but that's.
But it'd be really hard for us to put him on a hand that he checks the turn back that beats us, unless it's specifically, he rivers a full house with some kind of a pocket pair. Because I mean, I would imagine any kind of queen is just going to continue barreling.
Yeah, but well, if he has a queen, he's getting 2 streets out of me anyway. Right. So the thing is, when he checks a turn, he either has air or pocket pair that's pot controlling, so I can get one more street of value with my river bet.
Right. I guess what I'm saying is I would have been shocked if you raised you on the river. Like I wouldn't. I just couldn't put him on a hand if he did that. But I mean,
No,
go ahead.
he's repping like a queen that check backs the turn. People do that sometimes, but this is the thing about rush poker. It's kind of hard to win those kind of pots since you're readless and you pretty much have to fold to aggression.
Right.
Even if the guy is repping like nothing, you can bluff catch, but I don't know how much EV is that, since the guy could be like a passive station.
Yeah, you just never know, I guess.
Yeah.
Are you going to be raising any ace suited from the cutoff?
Yeah, from the cutoff on the bottom, I'm opening like much wider, since people at this point in the hand, they are like playing their hand or auto folding. So if I'm in raise, I'm often just taking the blinds, since if you use the quick fold button, I just raise and people auto fold to me.
Yeah.
Like, I know if a guy is calling me that he was like waiting for the action to call, so I know he likes his hand or that he doesn't have like any two cards. Especially the small blind. I think if the small blind, if the small blind plays his hand, I tend to be very careful since he was waiting for all the action to play his hand.
Yeah, I had a discussion with one of my friends who's been playing that, and that was the number one observation he made is whenever the small blind gets involved in a hand, you should be careful because that's the spot where they should be folding the most. Yeah. So I'm glad that you kind of made the same observation.
Well, I just 3-bet queens on the previous hand, and I should go bigger since I was kind of deepish with the guy. And I want as much money as possible pre-flop with queens.
Right.
When deep. But you tend to do a lot of these small mistakes since it's hard to like check all the stack sizes of the table in one look. So
yeah.
And
this is only playing 2 tables. I mean, when you play 4 tables, it's even more crazy.
Well, as I was saying, you make a lot of mistakes, but now things are back to like normal. But it's highly profitable still, since people do the majority of their mistakes post flop, like here.
Let me ask you about this bet size. You bet almost pot.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about Table Ninja. If you set it, I'll just bet. I think it's 70%. I have it set it to 70%.
Yeah.
So I could go smaller there, but I don't know how much smaller, like 90 cents, 85 cents maybe.
Right.
That's definitely something I
that seemed more than 70%. Maybe my math is off. Maybe I should have taken a better look.
No, you may be right. I just started using Table Ninja yesterday, so I kind of know nothing about it. Well, one of the things I'm seeing is that the games are back to being kind of needy. Here I choose to flat the suited gapper since I'm kind of deepish with the guy.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was going to ask you. How, because you're deep, how much that plays into your decision there.
Yeah, well, I have position on him, and the games were like weren't like squeeze happy, like they were like yesterday or the day before. So I think I could call and just play position on him like
Right.
I did. Since he's gonna be check folding a lot when he doesn't have a strong hand. So I can just take the pot away from him when he checks to me.
It's funny you talking about how the games used to be, and you're talking about, I mean, usually when you hear players talking about how the games used to be, they talk about, a couple of years. But here we're talking about a matter of days. Like, the game has changed over the last couple of days. So,
yeah, well, it has changed so much. I remember like playing yesterday 8 tables, and pre-flop was like crazy. There was like squeezing 3-betting, 4-betting light, and 5-bet shoving with ace-10 or things like that. And
yeah.
now we can see there's kind of needy. We haven't seen a showdown in like I don't know how many hands.
I played a session earlier today, today being Thursday, the 21st of January, and it seemed like so many full stack big blinds and small blinds, whenever I opened the button, they just would automatically 3-bet me. And the times that I 3-bet out of the big blind, 3 out of 4 times I got 4 bets small. So I think people are starting to realize the fact that there is basically people are opening buttons very light, so they're countering that by regulars are the people that are reading the 2+2 forums, etc., are countering that by 3-betting from the blinds, and then like the next level of that is people are starting to 4-bet their button lighter because they know that people are 3-betting light.
3-betting light, exactly.
So
and the next step is 5-bet shoving light.
and I almost did that today. I had 10-8 offset, and I was thinking to myself, no. There's just no need. Because the one time that I end up doing that, somebody's actually going to show up with a hand, and there's just no need for that. But probably in the next couple of days, I'm going to start doing that. But today I decided to not tilt.
Well, but that's kind of the thing. When you need to shove 8, 10 offsuit for like a bluff, like a 5-bet bluff, it's not like a good game. You should need up and not 5-bet shove. Like a bluff. The first step I think you should do is like stop 3-betting and waiting for like big hands if people are so paranoid. Because if you bet 5-bet shove as a bluff, the guy will have aces like every time.
All right, tell me about your call here.
Nah, this call I don't like.
Okay.
I don't hate it that much, but it's kind of hard. If I hit an ace, I will be dominated often enough, and I don't like it.
And you're not deep enough to justify it, right?
No, I'm not deep enough. Not anywhere near. In fact, I do flop flush draw, but I ended up folding to small bet. Since here, he's never bluffing when he bets. Like it's always like a small pair. Even if I hit my flush, it won't be good. So maybe I can hit an ace, but I'm getting 4-1, and it's not enough to hit an ace, a 3-outer.
Yeah, it's one of those frustrating bets where he bets a little, but there's just not much you can do about it.
Yeah, you just you can win the hand at showdown, so there's.
I like your shove there on the short stack.
Yeah, you can't flat, you can't do anything but fold or shove, in my opinion, with pocket threes. You love to see a showdown, and if you play post flop, it would be hard to see a showdown. So I think shoving is best. Here I got a family pot with the aces.
Are you bet folding this? Well, except for the short stack.
Yeah, if the guy with the half stack shoves of course I'm calling. But
Right.
if any of the two guys raises, I'm gonna be folding since there are still people to act. It's not good. I mean, I can, I can, I would love to put him on a draw, but since I don't know anything about the guy, the low variance line I think is bet folding.
What are your thoughts on opening any two cards on the button?
Well, I don't know like any two cards. I mean, I play like any playable hand, any suited card, any big king, and I don't know. I think like you can open like king deuce, but just queen deuce and jack deuce is total garbage. I just dump them. I played any suited card. Uh, like I think that's it. Now that the games are kind of needy, I think I may start opening more buttons and the cutoff. But as the games were crazy yesterday, it was hard since you were getting 3-bet a lot.
Right.
I mean, you're mean racing for a reason. Is for you, so you can fall to 3-bets more often and still be profitable to steal your blind, to steal the blinds. But it's not good when they 3-bet you 5 out of 4 hands.
Yeah, I agree. Tell me about your decision here with ace-7 suited.
I don't know what I did. Sorry.
Well, you just ended up folding, but you thought about it for a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it's a pretty hand, but it plays awful out of position, and I'm not deep enough to justify flatting. If you flat is to play your draws aggressively, since you're kind of hoping to flop a flush draw or anything, so you can go crazy with your hand. But I don't think I'm like deep enough to put enough pressure on my opponent. So I don't like flatting. This is a funny hand.
The
with
queens?
the queens. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually think I remember what happened there.
Yeah, he trapped me.
Yeah, we were not expecting this, were we?
Nah. I mean, yesterday the guy will be like 4-betting every time, and I of course will be shoving. But as I was saying, if I have like I don't know, ace jack, ace 10 or whatever, and I see a half stack, I maybe shove it in, and that's not good. Since you're crush all the time or flipping with a pocket pair.
Right.
And that leads to more variance, and that's what you saw in my graph.
I'm trying to look for differences between what you're doing and what I'm doing because I ended up having a winning session today, but I just keep on getting destroyed at non-showdown. And part of it may be I might be opening maybe too light or maybe too tight in kind of early position, and maybe too loose in late position.
Well, I think the main thing about non-showdown winnings is like stabbing every little pot. For example, you end up heads up with ace queen on a rack board, or well, here is a stack off since I have the nuts. But for example, you have like I don't know ace queen on a rack board. It's hard to put him on a hand that will call a bet and it's worse than yours, and you don't fold any better hands. But I still see bet that since like his air has equity on my ace queen, and
Yeah.
I like to take the pot down. I do that kind of a lot. I make stubs to every pot, like for example here, and fold to aggression since people are mostly folding. Yeah, paying like feeder fold on the flop, and I don't want to give them equity for free. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
Makes sense. Oh yeah. This is a pretty
Yeah,
funny
this
hand too.
is
He made this just ridiculously small raise. I mean, I should
yeah,
say re-raise.
and he keep gay betting the whole hand. He was actually value towning me.
So,
You just can't fold. I'm gonna see like pocket tens here, pocket
three
pocket
pairs is a
jacks.
very good hand.
Yeah, on a pair board, of course. But
Yeah, he kept on pricing you in pretty well. You just hit the three outer against him on the river. But
yeah,
people will do that with ace king too. Like they don't want to check and they
yeah,
don't want to
but
fold, so they keep on betting like a fourth of the pot or something
yeah,
like that.
I,
So
I was hoping to see like ace king, ace queen, pocket tens, pocket sevens. I don't
well,
know,
pocket tens you
kind of.
probably weren't hoping to see.
What?
You
What's that?
said pocket tens you probably were not hoping to see because that's one of
Uh,
those hands that you're going to be behind.
yeah, because I lose
Yeah,
pocket
because you
tens.
lose to pocket tens, drawing you an eight.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting ace eight offsuit to be honest.
Oh
But
yeah, I mean obviously not.
yeah, well that's the thing about this. You can't take notes. I mean,
I actually
I mean,
started doing that. You know how we talked about it?
yeah,
Yeah,
but it kind of ruins the flow of the game since you have to. The I think the main thing about this is that you can play your hands fast, and if you start taking notes, it's gonna slow you down a lot if you take a lot of notes. But that was a note worth taking. What I started doing, I'm not doing that this in the video, but is color coding when somebody three bets me. So I know the next time he three bet me, he likes to three bet, and it's not like he has aces. Well, he could have aces two times against me, but chances are there he's kind of three betting me light, especially when he's in position. So
yeah. I started doing the same thing with if I three bet somebody out of the blinds and they four bet me, I started kind of making notes on that. Just because, I mean, it's more likely that. So I think this is where we started talking about notes, whether.
yeah,
So yeah, and again, it's one of those things where the game is just evolving so quickly that some of these things that we're just now figuring out are going to be like completely standard in a week or 2 weeks or whatever.
yeah, I can see the Rex taking notes, but I don't. I think well, this hand is
Yeah, this is
actually
a pretty
funny too.
interesting hand too.
Yeah, I mean, I do see a lot of this against like mid stackers that they spaz out like crazy. I think they catch up to the line that check calling, check raising the turn is always getting fault.
Yeah,
But here I choose to shot
I mean,
since
do you just make that decision because?
no because he either has a hand that wants to continue or he's holding, and if he has like some kind of monster draw, I'm not getting any of his money if the draw misses,
No, I
and
meant
I'm never.
like how do you decide between whether you're gonna fold or whether you're going to continue?
No, I'm not falling there for a mid stack since well people tend to pass a lot, and I could see like ace eight or 7x with two diamonds or whatever. So
Right. Or king queen
I
offsuit, which check raise
yeah
balls. And that's just the most bizarre hand for him to show up with.
yeah I mean I expected like ace king maybe because
Right.
people play ace king like it's aces.
All right.
Uh,
This is another situation where you continuation bet this board, and you do
yeah
it pretty big too.
Well, the main thing is I want as much as fold equity as I can, and pretty much every turn is giving me either a gut shot, top pair, or a flush draw. So there's a lot of turns that I can continue with. Now I'm actually betting for value, but the main thing is I think I'm betting 2 into 225, so I could bet less, but less is like 1 point something. And
Yeah.
I think it has like more impact when you bet the full amount, like the 2.0, 2.1. It's like a small difference, but from the other side, it looks like, well, the guy just bought it. So
Yeah, it doesn't look like you're going anywhere in the hand. Now, concurrently, on the right table, you have another interesting hand going on, where you have Ace King suited, and
I flat, I think.
you do end up flatting.
Yeah. Well, I think if I three bet, if I four bet, I'm like playing for stacks at the same at preflop, and I'm kind of dippish with the guy. I think I could like four bet getting in, but people I tend to play like straightforward on three bet pots when they're out of position. So my guess is I could. Think I remember what the guy had. So.
Oh yeah, I remember what he had too.
Yeah. Well, as I was saying, people tend to play like straightforward out of position in three bet pots, since they don't want to play for stacks unless they have a big hand.
Right.
So I choose to check back the turn since I have a draw, a big draw, and plus I'm not getting any pocket pair to fold.
Right.
And if he happens to have the same hand that I have, I'm free rolling to the flush. So there's no point in betting the turn. I would bet if he checks to me and the turn was a blank or whatever. Still, I don't think I'm folding a better hand. I'm just taking his share of equity with his random air.
Right. Yeah, I definitely like the way the Ace King hand was played.
I think that may be one of the reasons of my red line, since, well, you can check and you're gonna be good at showdown a big amount of the time, but I prefer like ending the pot on the turn or the river. On the river, I was actually value betting, but in this type of situations, I tend to bet when check to.
Right. One of the things that I noticed at 10 No Limit is I didn't feel like I was getting through. Like, I felt like my button opens were getting a lot of people were fighting back a lot at my button opens, but not so much at my cutoff opens. Like, the button would not 3-bet me that much when I opened from the cutoff, but the blinds would 3-bet me a lot when I opened from the button. So.
Well, I think that, as I was saying earlier, that the bottom has to wait for all the action to happen to play his hand, and if he's waiting, I think he may like his hand. So unless I tag him as an actual 3-better, or he 3-bets me like 4 times or something, I will give him like some respect.
Right.
Since, as you can see, there's not much like 3-betting going on. Preflop is kind of, it's just flat.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, well, yesterday was nowhere near this.
Like I mentioned, I think it's going to be really interesting how these games evolve and what kind of because the general strategy right now is very much in flux. I mean, no one's quite figured out how to do it, just because the game is changing so much. But at some point, there's going to be a general strategy which is going to have show a positive expectation.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just I'm curious to see kind of what direction that ends up going.
Well, I know I did poorly adjusting when the games start to get crazy pre-flop. So I plus I was like I wasn't able to win one single pot. Like I don't know how many hands, but
This
I
game can
think
get very tilting
yeah,
when you're not winning.
yeah. It's like you're getting a mil. You think you're getting like a million hands and you can't win a single pot. So you start like calling more often. That's not good. Or three betting more often, or squeezing when there's like short stack on the blinds because you're like, well, I squeeze this, I don't care,
Right.
uh, and that's not good. I think the ways to beat this game is to do the opposite of what everyone's doing. In this
Right.
case, everyone is needing up, so I'm trying to play more hands and stop every little pot. And if the pool of player go crazy again, I think the most profitable will be like playing as needy as you can. So
Now you
I
flat
don't
here.
like. No, I don't like it. There's a mid stack on my left, so
Okay.
I pretty much have to play like fit or fold. Uh, well, this is one of the things I was saying. I was kind of bored here since I haven't played a hand in I don't know how long. And you start doing these little things. This is a fold pre-flop. It's a pretty hand. I guess you can defend heads up if the cutoff of the button opens, but uh, a middle position guy and a guy who's calling every time it's not like a good hand to play. It's
Right.
actually kind of weird what happened since the pre-flop raiser checked uh, the hand, called the flop, and now he's only repping like a backdoor flush. I mean, he's he's c-betting his value hands like 100% of the time on a
Yeah.
draw board. So he's pretty much repping the backdoor flush.
Right.
And readless, you just have to fold. You know he has it every time.
Yeah, I would definitely fold this as well. I remember talking to you about this hand right after it happened, and
Yeah, well, but my mistake was playing the hand like pre-flop. I should just fold it,
right.
play. Or,
Yeah, I agree.
well, but that's a leak. I have to.
Especially out of the small blind
Yeah,
with the kind of the
I
shorter
just want.
stack in the big blind.
Yeah,
The guy.
I just wanted to play a hand. I was getting bored.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but that's not good. So don't do it. Well, I think the biggest mistakes you'll make in this game is like calling when there are short stacks left to act or when you don't know anything about the guy, like the ace eight hand when under the gun opens and I
Right.
flat ace. Well, it kind of gets boring playing like ABC poker after a while, but I think it's the way to crash the games.
Yeah, I ended up doing that tonight and ended up doing very well.
Mm.
Whereas, yeah, I mean, yeah, basically just playing fairly straightforward. Here you get max value on the right side with a
Yeah, he actually called to chop, so
right. Yeah, he's
think
he's calling a chop.
ship it.
Oh wow.
Okay. About the sevens, I guess I call here. I fold. Oh no. Okay.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
bottom
you
shot.
definitely fold. I
Yeah. No.
think if the guy doesn't shove, if the button does he
I'm
shove
calling.
for $20, yeah, you're calling because it's was
I'm
a dollar
telling.
fifty and you're really deep.
Yeah. I'm calling just to set mine, since people never fold an overpair.
It's really interesting. As soon as you fold, you have no idea what happens in the hand.
Now,
Some of the hands, I would be interested to know what happened, but I mean, I guess that's kind of the nature of the beast.
yeah. One thing I should start doing is taking notes when I'm in a big hand with anyone. So
Right.
yeah,
All right. Here's another situation where you have ace king.
I think I flatted here.
Yeah, I think.
Okay,
Go ahead.
uh, I think pre-flop if I call for bet, I'm never like getting action out of a hand that I beat, or the guy will always have like aces or kings, or maybe my same hand. So I think by flatting, I let them keep the weaker part of the range. So I think if the under the gun shoves or five bets or whatever or four bets, and this guy calls, I will be an easy fold since I don't beat anything.
Right.
Well, one of the good things about flatting is that my hand looks so strong, since it makes looks like queens or jacks, or I never have kings or aces in these games.
Right. Although a lot of people do like would flat pocket aces there.
Yeah, but as the games are not that crazy or squeeze happy, I would not flat aces since pretty much they are always gonna call unless they have aces themselves.
Right.
I don't think he will ever ship us a bluff or a semi bluff or ace king. I would expect the under the gun raiser to flat ace king in that spot.
Now, what would you have done if you had ace king in the small blind there? I mean, here you're on the button, so it makes your decision
Yeah,
easier. What?
yeah. It's kind of hard readless since you don't know anything about the guy three betting. Uh, he
Right.
may he may be three betting like 0% of the time, so it means that he has aces or kings or a hand that is crushing you. But I guess if it's I guess I fall. Man, if I'm in a small blind, under the gun is still to act, so
Yeah.
I could get trapped by a big hand. Uh, an ace king is a pretty hand pre-flop, but it don't have much equity uh, against that kind of action.
Right.
I mean, the main reason I flatted is because I want to keep worse hands in the range. Uh,
Sure. Yeah, people are definitely three betting worse aces and
yeah,
sometimes worse kings like king queen.
yeah, well, he's three betting an under the gun opener, so I have to like give him a little bit of respect
Right.
until proven otherwise.
But yeah, which is going to be really tough to do because a lot of these hands don't go to showdown, and when they do, you're often not there to watch what happens.
Yeah,
Um,
or you're not good.
right. So the video is kind of coming to an end. It's there we go. It's been about 40 minutes of footage. So thanks so much for making this video and just discussing the state of the game and just your general approach.
No, thank you, man.
All right, so for coderunners.com, this has been Vernier with say your nickname one more time, please.
My nickname,
Yes.
that's Piteltone, but I really like how you say it, so I may start saying it your way.
All right, thanks.
Nah, thank you,
Bye.
man. Bye bye.